Hi everyone and welcome to the update for today. It was Saturday, July the 25th, 2026, and this morning I started the day off once again in the accounting office. And yesterday I talked about the fact that, I was very optimistic about how yesterday went in the accounting office. I was done with everything in like 4.5 hours, no issues, nothing convoluted, no mysteries, anything of that sort. Today, 24 hours later, by golly, we have mysteries, we have issues, and we have all sorts of stuff that kind of makes you want to pound your head against a wall. Yeah, this was one of those type of days. Kind of a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, mysterious discrepancies that I think I have an idea of what happened, but that can't prove it. And then of course a really uniquely processed purchase order. And we got the information from the head office regarding what discrepancies they want us to look into from the last month. And there's just a general one for a certain amount, and I started digging around, and it doesn't look like it was what I thought it might be. But as I'm digging through, what do I always say is the host of all the so many of the accounting problems? I have a feeling we're looking at a lottery issue. And there's one particular day that's very close to the amount that they have us looking for. And I pull up that day, and I've already found several issues on the same day. I swear to goodness. It's like that meme, where little sneaky guys kind of hiding over to the side, like waiting. Every time that we're like having a good month, lottery is just waiting to the side, like, how are we going to mess with this? Anyway, so we were lucky, however, that we had, again, in one of these training classes, so we had extra help today, which means I didn't have to be out on the floor, so I could be looking into that, and also catching up after, again, just a lot of issues yesterday to clean up. So it was an entirely behind the scenes day, with some head scratchers, but we got it handled pretty much as good as anybody possibly could. So like I said, there are days that are brilliant like yesterday, and then there are days that are Excedrin headache type of days like today was. Anyway, so after that, of course, just like always, went to the gym, still putting some cardio in there. Again, don't want to... Weight training versus cardio is definitely a balancing act, and not always the easiest one. So it's always kind of in the back of your mind, am I going too far with this and going to start, stepping back some of the progress that I've made on the strength training. Anybody that's done jump stuff for a while has gone through this same thing. But anyway, let's see. And again, creating one of those offsets, went to the gym, which of course it entails me to go to Pizza Hut, so of course did that. Pizza Hut is a bit further of a drive than some of the other pizza things in my area, and it's a thing I do a couple of times a year, and every time I do it, I realize why I only do it a couple of times a year. It's fine. Yeah. Anyway, and then I came home, and then came today's project. Now, you may have, if you've looked at some of my other videos and you've seen the room with the blue turquoise walls, this bed was not in it last time that this room appeared in one of these videos. This bed was not in here this morning. Alright, so this was the bed from the other room that today, this afternoon, that's what I've been doing essentially from the time after finishing up at Pizza Hut until right now, which is about 8:40 in the evening. Well, I actually got done with this around 7 in the 7 o'clock hour, but you get the idea. That's what I was spending most of the remainder of the evening on, moving this bed from that room over to this one. And, you know, I think we got it done. And so, again, what's going to be happening here on the 5th, 6th, 7th of August, that time frame, a somewhat larger and arguably even more beautiful bed than this one is going to be delivered to the other room. And I'm sure I'll tell you some more about how that process is going to work as we are getting closer. Although it's something I've talked about in previous videos already. Anyway, so that's where we are with that. Again, all that cleaning out the room process is coming to fruition now. This is the big thing for this room. Probably going to be doing some stuff again with the tropical motif that we had in here for years. But this is the big part of it. There is going to be a dresser that's going to be going right over there. As a matter of fact, I showed you guys these things in a video that I filmed a couple of days ago, where I was standing actually right next to what these pieces would be. Anyway, that's going to be going right over there. And so we're making progress with that arc, the furniture arc here, and that was basically the the other big thing that I did today. Let's see. Today's shirt of the day. I love Montenegro, it says. Again, this came from Dad's collection, and I can pretty much tell you the exact day that we got this shirt. It's going to be on the day that this picture was taken, which was, let's see, May the 2nd of 2012. This was the only time that I'm aware of, and I'm pretty confident this is accurate, that they ever went to Montenegro. And, yeah. And Dad liked to go to t-shirt. Obviously, Dad has this huge collection of t-shirts, and so obviously he liked going to t-shirt vendors, obviously. And so, again, this was the only time that we were ever in Montenegro. It was a cruise on, again, a Holland America ship called the New Amsterdam. And it, just like, if you're going on a cruise and you're going over to, like, the Mediterranean, for the most part, most of the ports are historical-based ports. There are a couple of them that are more beach resort-y type of things, but most of them are like historical buildings and architecture and stuff like that. And Qatar and Montenegro is definitely, or Qatar. My apologies for if I missed whichever one of those is wrong. I apologize for that. But anyway, 2nd of May 2012, we were there, and that was that day. And so Dad picked up this shirt from some vendor down there and sharing it with you guys now. All right, so I talked more about this box of photos that I found yesterday, and just started digging around, sorting through them for a couple of ones that, and there are a lot of pictures of people that were names like the 80s and 90s that I don't really know much about. Like this one, this gal, Katie Harmon, she was Miss American like 2002. And I happen to know about her because I think she's from Oregon, as I recall. And so, semi-well known around here. And let's see, other kind of random, like, celebrity people. Cheers guy, Norm. Dad loved watching Forrest Gump. This was the guy who was Forrest Gump. This girl appears in Forrest Gump. They say that Forrest Gump is like the, to use modern vernacular, like the biggest simp of all time. And this was the gal he was simping for. In my opinion, one of the great literary villains of all time. But Forrest Gump is a wonderful movie, and Dad loved watching it, particularly after the stroke. It was he had a handful of movies he just liked to watch over and over and over and over and over. And Forrest Gump was one of those, so I got to see a lot of the exploits of Mr. Forrest Gump and, of course, Jenny. Anyway, a lot of other photos in that box I can continue looking through at other times. But anyway, hey, thanks for joining me. Have a great one, everyone.